Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Roll for Chaos production. Sparrows here, returning once more. All five of these crazy kooky pirates all around me tonight. We are going to be seeing what happens next. Last time on the show, they kicked butt. They made it all the way through the outpost. They happen to have collected a nice new pool table, a whole bunch of supplies, a chest. They convinced the station to spit all of this content directly onto their deck. So that was exciting. Having won that adventure, now we get to move on to what happens next. So the first thing we're going to do is go around the table and reintroduce you to everybody and give us just a brief take on where your character is at this moment, right after the events of our last episode. And one thing that they do, whether that's on their own or with mixed company or whatever, that is irritating. And we're going to move around the table with our random roll. Random this time, please, die. Don't always give me the same person. And we're going to see what happens. First one tonight is Jackal. You're going first tonight. Where's Amos at on the ship? And give us something irritating he does.
At this point on the ship, Amos is running around making sure that everyone is 9/10 of the way there, or at the very least, whatever entrails are there are there. As far as like one of the more annoying things they do, probably be just remembering stupid, pointless things that are said to get done that didn't quite get done. So, if someone said get a cup of coffee, they'd probably, like 3 weeks later, if that coffee hadn't happened, ask them again about that coffee at that time, at that date.
Right. Continually. I guess kind of fatherly reminders all the time. Something along those lines. All right, moving on over from everybody's favorite lizard dad. We're going to go on over to Nora and Clarion Bell.
Clarion Bell is currently in the med bay, preparing to do a brainwash on our poor captain. With blood and medicine, blood transfusion, medicine, literally washing parasites out of his brain, if at all possible. Furiously plotting and making notes. And probably also trying to get some useful work out of Carrot somehow.
And what's one irritating thing that Clarion Bell does?
When she is out in public and not pretending to be a little girl's escort, she yes, UV, she likes to tell off anybody who assumes that she's just the furniture and insult them.
An insulting appliance. Got it.
Yep.
We move on over to Kai and Leifei.
Leifei right now is currently below deck going over the papers that old Captain was working on. He wants to know what he was planning to do in case something is amiss right now while he's indisposed. And something annoying he does is Leifei has a constant habit of taking a bit from Mac's book right there. Leifei has a penchant for dadly entering into people's rooms very loudly and like just all of a sudden, bam, Leifei's now in the room. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Everybody on the ship doesn't have any privacy as long as Leifei's in charge. Moving on over to Benjamin and Red Iron.
Red Iron is currently above board fixing their arm with their Tinkerer's kit, and specifically not in the engine room because they are fighting with Sylvia right now. Gosh, what could be irritating about Red Iron? What could possibly be inconvenient about Red Iron? Is it they talk to machines, or is it they call everyone captain? Or is it they leave the cabinets open in the kitchen? Red Iron, goddammit. I think the most irritating thing that Red Iron does is Red Iron has a nasty habit of allowing themselves to be consumed by a supernatural or otherworldly intelligence when they don't have the cognitive vocabulary to deal with the situation. If I mean honestly, if Red Iron had a silver piece for every time that happened, Red would have 2 silver pieces, which isn't a lot of money, but it's weird that it happened twice.
I got that reference.
Excellent. And finally, last but not least, Gwen and B.
B is currently trying to plot a course that looks like it's heading home while still kind of making little detours so that we can maybe hit up the scientist ship, get some more loot, and I don't know, maybe introduce Sepp to a new power source. Don't know. Maybe. In terms of annoying things that B does, obviously the biggest is just being a total airhead and flaking on things. I'm relatively sure that most of the reminders that Amos is giving are to B, because she will just completely forget the little things if she doesn't think they're important.
You'd think that having been part of this crew for X amount of time.
But nah, it's all good.
All right. Well, there we go. A little more insight into each one of these lovely pirates and what things they might do that might irritate you or other people or a specific individual specifically. But of course, we're going to move on to the game and tonight's events. So, we know where everybody's at on the ship. The first thing that we see, of course, is Red Iron walking into the engine room to have a little bit of a confrontation with Sylvia. So as you come down the stairs, Red, you notice that the cordoned area that you have created for yourself inside of the room has wires and bits and pieces of metal that have kind of shoved into it, causing your line to be scraped away.
Sylvia, I'm just, I just need to get my kit.
Oh, you may get it. Go right ahead.
Your wires are intruding into my area, by the way.
Well, you can move them.
Oh? Are you giving me permission to move them?
Most certainly. Go right ahead.
And you can't do this yourself?
Oh, I'm certain that I could, but I have other things to use my energies on.
Oh? You don't want to give me any space?
I am attempting to make contact with a greater being, and it's taking my time continuously.
Oh, and what greater being do you have than us?
The thing you call the machine god.
You called it the machine god. I have no idea. I have no frame of reference for this.
This individual needs something, and I seek to find out what that is.
Oh, well, I guess good luck then.
And Red kind of like skirts like by the wires and like tugs at his tinkerer's kit with his good arm.
Pull it out. A few pieces like tinkle down onto the floor.
Did you get into this?
Of course not. For what reason would I have to use any of your tools?
I don't know. Maybe you wanted to use them for scrap.
There was one lug wrench. I'm sorry.
Wait, which one? Was it the...
Starts digging. Ah!
It's the one you used to repair the oven.
That's tungsten tipped. That's the only one that I can use the oven while it's still hot.
Well, you have had modifications made to yourself. Fire should no longer be an issue.
Yes, but it'll melt the wrench.
Then make a new wrench. Simple.
I don't have any more tungsten. You used my tungsten wrench.
Would you like me to find more tungsten for you then?
Just don't do me any favors, okay?
Not doing you any more favors.
All right, you find the machine god, and do you want to be dropped off with him, or?
No. No, if he awakens, all will become him.
Hold on. Oh, all.
All. Every one of
Right.
these biological organisms will become aligned.
Why would we want that?
Because he can save the entire worlds, all of them here, from the threat
From what?
of those eternal ones.
From the threat of the Eternals, they're not that much of a threat.
The greater Eternals.
Are they coming?
You call them dragons.
Oh. Listen, if I feel like what you're talking about is a writ large version of the problems that we're having here on this ship.
You have become part of my solution to various problems I am faced with.
Right. We can talk about how I can solve things, but you have a problem with trying to take things over and consume them with machine power, and now you want to do that to the whole galaxy.
Oh, everyone else will want to as well, once he has awoken.
Will they? Will they really? For example, when you shut off my ability to feel fear, would it just shut off their ability to say no?
That is inconclusive.
That's all you have?
Unfortunately, I have never dealt with the Socrates before. Not directly. All information I have is subject to that large information provided by the libraries of the Sill.
So then you want to awaken this thing without complete information about, oh, wait a second, I understand how I messed up now. I just learned something about myself too.
You absolutely did. Thank you for the follow, Guru Sage of Light.
Oh, it appears the conflicts that I'm having also mirror this larger conflict.
And Red Iron is speechless temporarily. We're going to fade scene from there with him just staring slack-jawed at this machine that he helped awaken, and move right along over to Clarion inside of the medical facility. You step inside after having done this whole crazy event elsewhere. Of course, still semi-dragging yourself since one of your legs is completely destroyed.
She's got a crutch and she's using it.
Just peg legging that thing right off the bat. Real pirates here. So
Oh, yeah.
what is Clarion doing as she sees the captain laying in the bed? I think Carrot's behind you, and that's basically it at the moment. Oh, we got an ace to Benjamin from Rauru Sage of Light. Thank you very much. Because of that huge smile.
Yeah, I think she is actually checking. The first thing she did was going through the supplies from the station and seeing what exactly was in there and if there was anything that would help with the transfusion. And then once that was sorted out, she started preparing the donors to be hooked up and attempting to keep that blood fresh and moving.
Okay, so supplies from the station. You do find a few chemical solvents and compounds that will help you with the procedure. So you already have the medicines you need to do it. I get a +1 from Rob. So from there, the actual donor, you have to check and see if it has a blood type that'll work for your poor captain. And if not, you'll have to make some concessions.
Okay.
First off, we're going to have you go ahead and make an agile roll as you attempt to extricate blood without causing too much damage to the cadaver or losing any of it. Get me higher than a 12 to be successful.
I rolled a 14 for
Got
you.
a 14. I need to keep up with the rolls. With a 14, you're able to remove some out. You move it over to the table, kind of bouncing a little bit, carrot off to the side. Can I do something? You got a body in there. Why is there a body? There's a dead person in here.
I am currently preparing to transfuse this person's blood into the captain in hopes of eliminating the parasite and its spore.
You're gonna add dead blood to the captain? Isn't that like a wrong thing to do? I don't know things about things, but that's how I make a zombie, right?
It is risky, but it should not create a zombie unless there is magic at play here that I am unaware of.
Magic at
In
play.
any case, Carrot, you will hold things when you are instructed.
Well, of course I'll hold. I got 2 hands, and I got a flat head. You can use that too if you need.
Thank you very much, Carrot.
You're very, very, very welcome. You sure he's not gonna turn into a zombie?
I am 99.7% sure he is not going to turn into a zombie. At least not because of the blood. I cannot predict what the parasite will do.
That's not 100%. That's not 100%, Clarion.
Nothing is 100%, Carrot.
I've been lied to my whole life.
I regret causing you this realization at this exact moment. If you need time to recover in your bunk, please take it.
I think I will. My mom lied to me. People that proceed 100%. Carrot just like escorts themselves down the stairs into the bunks.
Poor Carrot. I'm sorry.
And that just leaves you and the captain and the cadaver. So you do a test on the blood and give me a high or low. We'll just see. There are lots of blood types. We'll see if you're successful or not here.
Well, I'm feeling high.
Feeling high before the show. With a 9, unfortunately. The blood type is
Darn.
problematic. You believe that through a stable suspension of a variety of the plasma that you had brought, there's that, what do they call it? It's basically like fake plasma. You have a whole bunch of that also came
Gotcha.
from the station. You think that you can mix that with a diluted enough version of the blood to give something that will work, that won't be rejected right away. Not going to be as good as the real thing, but it'll potentially help your captain anyway.
Okay, then we'll attempt to do that.
All right, Clarion's going to take about an hour doing this, so give me a brains roll to see how successful you are at creating the suspension, and we'll hope that the body doesn't start to decay any further. Are you going to do something to help with that? Ooh, that is a 7.
Ooh. I think she stops herself before she goes much further and rethinks this and attempts to see what can be done about refrigeration for this cadaver or preservation.
All right, the only oh, you got a reroll from Annika. Nice. So you can go ahead and use that instead of using the one that you had there. And let's give it another roll. Oh, it's a 2 again. All right, so before you started this, you said you also wanted to check on cooling. When it comes to coolant options on the ship, Vicky's got a refrigerated unit downstairs, but inside of the inside of the medical bay, you only have a small cubby, basically. So you could either try to drain out all of the liquids and freeze them separately, or find some way to freeze the cadaver or put it down in the kitchen.
Well, I don't want it frozen. I just want it cooled. So, I think we're gonna drain it first and then work with it from there. Because Okay. It's got a finite supply. I don't necessarily need to keep it in the cadaver.
The easiest way to do that would be to have Amos hang the person in the room with you so you can drain it all out, because you don't have a machine that'll do that for you effectively on board the Archimedes. Or you could ask for, you could either yourself or Red Iron, and you could invent something that'll draw it out of the veins.
I think Clarion is not unused to gore and would favor the quick and dirty method.
All right, so you call on Amos. What does that sound like?
Amos, I require your assistance in medbay. Urgently.
Give me a second here. Working on a cannon. Okay, what's going on? They walk in with the cannon in their hand.
Holding the whole cannon.
Oh, please, I need your help lifting this body.
Okay.
Cannon just
Not on the bed, please.
They take the cannon, they take it off the bed, they prop it up against the wall after they make sure it's empty, and they hold the body as they wish.
And there goes the body, just holding it up against the ceiling. And
We got a bucket. It's a sterilized bucket, but it's a bucket.
A bucket, and so you're able to drain the blood out, but again, with the brains roll you had before, with it being a 7, it's going to be a bit of a mess. You have a choice of either having lost a lot of this but getting some of the substance that'll work into a suspension, or you will have a weak suspension, which is already weak.
I would rather have lost some.
Okay. So you and Amos work on this for a while, and we'll come back to you to see how that turns out in the end. As we pop over to...
Thank you, Amos. Your muscles are invaluable.
Yes.
Move on over to B. B, where are you at again?
I am at navigation.
Yep. So as you stand there, off to the side is Scarborough. He's cleaning the cannons and making sure they're in good working order. Collins is assisting him at the moment. And of course, Zepp is floating beside you, staring out into the void. So, what do you say first as you're standing there? Zepp has convinced you to even defy orders and route the ship without people knowing to a facility that has some sort of power source that Zepp wants.
In Bee's mind, she's not necessarily defying orders. She's just taking the long road home.
Find us a way home. Of course, after this pit stop.
Not a problem. This way just happens to go next to the place that is trying to control the captain. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
So as you're standing there and kind of staring out into the void and making your adjustments, of course, Lei Fei has stepped away from the steering wheel at the moment. So you can either go ahead and take over that, or currently it's just locked in position and you're just going straight. With, I don't know, somebody on the deck probably intending to keep an eye out so you don't crash into an asteroid or something like that while you're flying.
I mean, I think Bee will go ahead and start heading us in our direction, making sure not to cut through an asteroid belt any more than she needs to.
All right.
She did learn that lesson.
She goes the long way. Let's give me an agile roll to see how successful you are at avoiding any of the asteroids nearby, because there is a rather large belt out here. All right, 13, not bad. So you're doing a pretty good job of just skirting the edge of it. You do know that the facility you're looking for is back in there, but you're basically just flying over it and trying to get into position where you can dive back down in. As you're standing there, Zepp, like floating beside you, just says to you, "Excellent. Thank you for doing this, Bee. I really do appreciate it, you know."
I know, Zap. You help me out a lot, so I like helping you. But remember, you did promise to keep everybody safe.
Of course, of course. Cooperation is a wonderful thing, Bee. It allows us to create grand things. I mean, an ant colony isn't possible without the assistance of all of the other ants. Termite hives, the great buildings, places on Avalon, those massive tower constructions. Sure, a few Skixen died here or there, but the buildings themselves are still grand and beautiful.
But I don't want any of my friends to die, Zap.
Oh, of course, dear child. Death is unpreferable. I get that. You and your kind, you fear it quite often, but I do want to make sure you are clear. You are my daughter, and as such, even when you pass from this mortal coil, you will come to live with me in the eternal realm.
That sounds nice, Zap. I'd like to be able to actually give you a hug. But
Well,
I don't think anybody else, like Amos or or Clarion or Leifei or even Red would have that same experience.
Well,
I want them to be okay.
we will try to find a way to make it so that that's their experience if necessary. I don't know what to say about Clarion. She confuses me. She feels similar to us, and yet she's a machine.
She's not just a machine. She's my friend.
She's a friend of yours, and friends are a great thing to keep in hand. They help you protect yourself, and you help them protect themselves, right?
Exactly. See, you understand.
I know, and I wish that I was stronger and more capable, Bee. I will do everything in my power to aid your friends, but until I am strengthened, I am but a shell. I am but a light breeze versus the blustering wind, the typhoon that I might become.
You're so strong already, Zeb. I can't wait to see what you can do once we get to the facility and you get more strength.
I can't wait. And from there, the scene moves from Bee standing beside Zep and discussing power over to Leifei standing inside the captain's quarters. You see this very tiny room, pretty much under the edge of the stairs, with like a curtain around it more than anything else. And looks down. You look down, and you see this stuff scattered everywhere. Like, the captain very obviously isn't a very clean person. There's like papers scattered all over the desk. He's got like an old sandwich that's like rotting in a bowl on the floor nearby. You see his bed has probably not been made in forever and a day. He's got some old pictures of other pirate crew on a different ship a long time ago, as well as individual images of each one of you, like placed on his little bedspread, or next to his bedspread inside of this little wooden box that opens and closes. So what is it that you're looking for at the moment, Leifei?
He's currently looking through. He's got the what was it? The shipping manifest.
Yeah, the shipping manifest describes any of the. Basically, it's just where you keep a general log of events that have occurred, of what stock you have on board the ship. Which, to be honest, he leaves the manifest open for other people like Bicky to tell how much food you have and Red Iron how much power you have, that kind of thing. But quite often forgets to use it. So there's a bunch of scratches in there. Bicky trying to remind him multiple times. We need. Read the damn book, Captain. And that's basically what you see in there. There's some details on ports of interest, a few promising leads on some ways to gather money and events, some of his musings about some of the other Sparrows out there, and an individual by the name, let's see, what was it? Jaime Heim, another pirate captain that he had approached for the ability to become a Sparrow and had been swindled by him, and apparently is somebody to keep an eye out because he's also searching for SIL technology and has been known to raid other pirates with it.
Are we foreshadowing with a Sharpie there, Ty?
Foreshadowing with a Sharpie. So this other individual apparently runs their own small pirate crew aboard something that is difficult to read.
What is? And Life is looking over. He's trying not to read through caps, like important news, important words, things that he's scribed down in here, but he does anyways.
Starts looking through diary markers and things like that, or diary entries that he's got inside of it to a degree. I mean, it's not necessarily a diary. Like I said, it's just musings that he's written down. He's got a notation in there. Red Iron happens to be showing some additional signs of a little bit of instability, but since this new thing has entered the ship, something along the lines of direction and purpose have seemed to fill him, and he's starting to recognize more around him than before. Might want to keep an eye on that. It says on there, B still continues to act as she did when we first met her on board the ship, confused about this individual Zep, someone who is not an individual, not a being that I trust much. I've dealt with Eternals quite often in the past, and they have never proven to be entirely trustworthy. Some of them might have positive effects or assistance provided to others, but there's almost always a cost of some kind. Clarion, I am very surprised to see how well Clarion is getting on aboard the ship. And for a long time, I had worried that maybe she was some sort of spy or some sort of device designed to come on and infiltrate the pirates. There have been rumors of that kind of thing around Saberhold, but it does appear that she is a sentient being, and I need to make sure I remember to always treat her with respect. I have a hard time with robots sometimes, with automatons, just because, I'm a little old-fashioned that way, but I really do like to make sure that I give her the space that she needs, and don't second-guess a lot of those decisions. And you hear, little musings on the there's scribblings on the most recent one that are relatively close. Not again. God damn it, these things. I got that taste in my mouth one more time. It's like mold spores and some sort of rotten fungus. Every time I get this sensation, I end up inside medbay. I don't want to go back there again. I really hope this time it goes away quick. I wonder why. It's here. And then it's just like a whole page is torn out via fingernails, scratched off. You see a little splatter of blood. Something is missing from the book. And you kind of flip through it a little bit looking, and you see a mark on Amos. Amos, very, very stalwart individual, very, very capable, maybe a little too serious. We need to try to work on his sense of humor once in a while. I know that he's a very caring and a deeply emotional person, but man, does that giant man have to let up a little. We should get him some more, some desserts next time we're at the local trade station. Maybe you'd like some sort of caramel ice cream. Lots of people like, or maybe a parfait. Everybody likes parfaits, right? Oh. And then you see another section. Teach Lei Fei how to read lips better. That's what you see.
Lei Fei's just flipping through this, drinking his tea as he's going along, and all right, Captain. And he closes the book up. Time to get to work, I guess.
So, the ship, by the way, you did notice one more section where it talks about Aimheim. It says he's the captain of something called the Yanlis.
The Endless?
Yanlis.
Yanlis.
Yeah. Own crew tends to sabotage and try to steal cell technology from others. Doesn't really matter.
All right. He knocks on the side of the ship. Artemis?
Lei Fei?
Can you call the crew together?
I can certainly attempt to, but you have to forgive me. My processing capabilities have been reduced because of massive data transmission.
So can you?
Yes. One moment, please. Contacting Red Iron now. Red Iron, Lei Fei would
You're
like to
not
speak
grandfather.
Lei Fei would like to speak with you, Red Iron.
Oh?
Yes.
What's going on?
Let me ask it. Processing. This will take a moment.
Just a second. Wait, no, hold on to that. Sylvia,
Yes.
you know what? Go ahead and devote all. You can drop the Archimedes Act. I know what you're doing. Go ahead and devote all your power to the communications.
Would it not make you sad to no longer be able to speak directly to the Archimedes?
I have always been able to speak to grandfather. I don't need your help.
I thought my assistance was appreciated. What about Barnabas?
How about this? Once you're finished talking to our god, then you can play Archimedes again, I guess.
Acceptable.
Okay.
Dropping act now.
All right. Now go ahead and just focus all of your energy on this thing, because clearly that's something you need to do for yourself, and I think you need to work on that.
Devoting all energies to this.
And you see the wiring and things inside of the room just kind of sink back. The lighting becomes slightly dimmer, and all you hear is the hum of your normal engine kind of weighted by something. And you hear the creak of Grandfather Archimedes once more in the distance.
Damn it.
Hi, Grandfather. It's good to hear a voice again.
Sidewinder 18155.
Red projects up to Leifei.
You're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Right, all right.
Well, you can't respond to him. You did hear him.
Red heads up to the up deck.
All right, you start heading up deck. Leifei, Red Iron tells you to talk to everybody manually. And of course, this is a relatively small ship, so as he comes around the corner out of the engine room and you're walking from the captain's cabin, you almost bump into each other, having been only about 15 feet apart when you did that.
Oh, hi, Captain.
So,
All right, so Leifei and Red Iron head back up towards the deck. Amos and Clarion are still working inside of medical at the moment, and you see B at the helm, kind of flying the ship. So you know where the other two are, Leifei? Do you want to speak to these two for now, or do you want to gather everybody in medical? Because they can't really leave in the middle of their current process. You know, elbows deep in cadaver blood and fake plasma.
He'll scoot by, but seeing they're busy as Amos is like holding up somebody, just a brief.
Captain on deck.
He salutes, and the guy just swings sideways because he's only holding him by one leg. Suddenly,
Amos.
Clarion, you're like, whoa, and blood just splatters all over the room.
I'm still
I
first
see.
mate. Captain's in the bed. I'm still first mate.
Amos, please hold the cadaver's other leg.
Amos, what do I
This
say to
is
make you stop doing
important.
this? I'm not a captain. I have no idea what to say to make you stop doing this. At ease?
He holds it back at that point. Clarion,
Thank you.
as you're looking around the room, your sensors are going biological contaminant, biological contaminant.
Oh dear.
So,
I'll
They've-
send Collins by later to brief you on this.
Thank you.
so you head up onto the deck, and you are now standing there. Scarborough's nearby. Cullens is on the deck. You've got Red Iron and B, and Bicky comes up and just says, "All right, everybody, I got dinner for tonight. There's a little bit of extra cumin in it, and well, something that's a mold inhibitor, just in case. You never know."
Probably not a bad idea. Thanks.
You're welcome. Enjoy the toast. You bite it, and it tastes a little bit like sweaty armpits and like copper. But it is bread, and it's not terrible.
The mold inhibitor is especially tantalizing, thank you.
You're welcome, Red Iron. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yes, this is the first good thing you've ever cooked.
I will try not to be insulted by that, but I'm going to be. And I'm going to go downstairs unless the captain has something he wishes to tell us.
Still first mate. You could hear me up there. I'm still first mate.
You say that all you want, but I know the way these things work.
No, you don't.
Are you calling me a liar? I'm not a dirty fucker!
Ah, right. I forgot about that. We'll be through this later. Captain will be out of bed soon. Speaking of, I'd like to ask so everybody's aware. How goes it? How far have we gone, B?
We're making good progress. I did have to go around the worst parts of the asteroid belt, of course.
All right, as long as we don't have to get through something dangerous.
I'm sure it'll
well-
be fine.
How long do you think it'll take?
Less time than we had originally planned. I mean, I think we were looking at 10 weeks, but I think I've got it cut down to 9 now.
Nice. Good work, B. As well, Scarborough, the guns, those were brought down to your quarters.
Yeah. What do you want me to do with those?
Aren't you master of arms? I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but are they mine? Or, am I keeping them for other people?
Do what you want with them. What does Captain let you do with them? I don't know.
Well, what doesn't the captain let me do with the guns is what I'm saying. If you get what I'm saying, I like the guns.
Fantastic.
I mean, don't take that a weird way. Nobody did take that a weird way. That wasn't what I was saying.
It's all right. I'm friends with at least 2 of them too.
Oh. Yeah, see, this guy. Yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. So, yeah, I guess I'll go clean them and polish them and stare at them inside of the slightly dim-lit... Never mind. I'll take care of that on my own time.
Right.
Don't take that in any kind of weird way. Like I said before, this is completely normal.
Completely normal. Next, all the scrap. I don't know what any of you engineers want to do with that. Does Sylvia want some?
Sylvia's on scrap restrictions, Captain.
But you can make it up to her. I bet you'd be best friends again real soon if you gave her some red.
That's not actually what Sylvia is interested in.
Oh.
What is she interested in? She became a part of the crew a while ago, and ever since, well, she's been stuck with a lot of duties. So, what does she want to be a pirate? I've never got the time to ask.
I would describe her as especially pious. She is. In fact, we can speak in confidence about Sylvia now because she is devoting all of her energies to contacting a machine god.
A pious pirate sounds great.
I'm stealing your booty in the name of my lord.
Oh, she's all right, that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
I mean, I don't think such a thing exists, so I agree. But it's gotten her to stop pretending that she is grandfather, and also she can't hear us right now.
Wait a second, she was pretending to be Artemis?
Archimedes.
Archimedes can't talk anymore?
No,
Oh, that's
Archimedes.
sad.
No,
What about
Archimedes.
Barnabas?
They can. No, you just have to listen. It's a manipulation. Listen to me. I am telling you they can talk. Don't listen to her.
But they actually talked with her.
She was practicing ventriloquism.
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to know a master, well, there before my time, that used to do that.
Yeah,
Apparently
grandfather
it's
is
slipped in combat.
upset about it.
That's disturbing. I didn't know about that at all.
As for the scrap, I'm asking her to use it at my discretion because otherwise she does things like seal the hatches so that we can't escape and might die.
Seal the hatches so we can't escape. What's safer than a box that's completely closed on all sides, though?
Schrodinger's pirates.
All right. So, Leifei, what do you wish to order for your crew to do at the moment? or what decisions do you make as acting captain for now?
We're still headed to the destination. Everybody be aware. I've got Colin's drafting up a notary of where everything's going on the ship. The loot's in the hall chest downstairs. And also this thingy. And he holds up that watch. I don't know if anybody wants this.
A locked golden watch.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Is it functional?
Maybe it's locked.
Do you want to hand it to Red Iron to check out?
Yeah, there you go.
Red Iron takes it with their good hand, and then the third arm kind of diagonal reaches over, and they start going to work on it, seeing what's up with this thing.
You're hearing a noise coming from inside of the locket as you're holding it. It's very obviously not inert.
I don't speak this language. Try something else.
Seems to be speaking backwards.
No, not that. Oh, okay. Just give me a moment.
And Red reverses it.
Roll brains to see if there's a way that you can do that from outside. 15. All right, so Red, you turn around the little casing on it. You see that there's a clockwork mechanism on top that'll actually use to spin it. You pop it out a little bit and change it to spin the opposite direction, and you look up, and everybody's looking at you shocked. So Red Iron disappeared a second ago, everybody, and then seemed to reappear about 10 seconds later.
I fixed it.
All right.
Are you really here?
What kind of question is that?
Red, the watch has stopped making noises and is no longer talking.
Hey, wake up. Hey. It worked for a second. I'm sorry, Captain.
Cullen, standing off the side, goes, I think it worked for 10 seconds.
It works for 10 seconds.
You disappeared for 10 seconds.
I don't remember that.
Zep, standing off to the side of you, B. Interesting expenditure of time, Aether.
Is that what it was, Seb? That makes sense.
I do believe so. A small contained unit, of course. It doesn't seem like it holds a great deal of power, but I don't know if it will recharge without us assisting it in some way. I cannot offer the power myself. Not at this moment, anyway. But I'm sure that more of those aetherite crystals could assist.
Oh, that's a good point. Hey, Red Iron, I think you can recharge it.
Oh, right. Just by winding it, or?
No, it's magic. Try giving it one of the crystals from the engine.
Oh,
That helps Zap all the time.
Red gets a really weird look on their face when B says crystals and then hands it over why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay. And completely forgetting about everything else, including the fact that Leifei was talking to them, B runs for the engine room.
As you're running for the engine room, even Zep to the side is like, B, wait, we're almost there. You need to come back, child. Come, calm down now. Come. He goes and flies after. Suddenly a breeze just kicks across the deck.
Goodbye, Zep. Well, I guess I'll take control of navigating. This was just to make sure everything was going everywhere it was supposed to, and we are, too. I'll take over that, I guess.
All right, so Leifei goes and stands back up at the helm, grabbing a hold of it, seeing a little scrap of paper that B has written on and the navigation that you need. and you proceed to continue flying it. She does have you going back into the asteroid belt here shortly. But before that happens, we move back to Clarion and Amos. Amos, you've been holding this thing for like 15 minutes straight. Clarion, you have succeeded in producing a small suspension, something that you hope will assist in some way. It's not a hell of a lot, but it is about a dose of what you're looking to do. And the body is now empty.
Well, Amos, please dispose of this cadaver. I do not believe I could lift it myself in this condition.
Clarify. Over.
Dump it overboard if you must.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted it set afire, liquidated, chopped up into food.
No, I am given to understand that it is incredibly taboo for sentient creatures to eat the remains of other sentient creatures. Is this not the case among pirates?
Yes?
We're pirates.
Good, that confirms my assumption.
Right, and I will follow through with... They're going to just quickly toss a manual out an open window.
Goodbye.
You see it just floating off into the void.
And then just the blood-splattered Lesra just leaves with the body hanging by one arm.
Just kind of dangling there, starting to stiffen up already. Then you just turn from the deck and huck it like a frisbee, just woof, or a bola or something, just out into the void. It spins end over end, going off into the distance. So we see Clarion move over in front of the captain, who is just laying there at the moment. What do you do with the captain, Clarion?
Well, first I'm gonna confirm his condition. Make sure that he is in a good state to receive the treatment.
Okay. Give me a brains roll as you do a diagnosis of the captain.
Do I get my bonus from for what ails you?
Yes. Critical failure.
No, this is no. I'm spending an ace.
Okay.
There we go.
There, much better with a 23. You scan over. Annika gives you an ace anyways, Clarence, so you can have that back. With
Thank
your
you.
scan this time, you are able to determine that while the parasite has not been removed, something has made it dormant. I don't think Leif ever told you what he did, but
No.
but now the parasite is no longer active. It is dormant. If you're going to try to flush the system, you could potentially help that a little bit more, though. But right now, the captain's not in danger.
I still want to try to treat him
Okay.
because I don't think the suspension is going to last very long.
It will not. All right. So you set him up with the drip. You give him something to sedate him so he doesn't wake up in the middle of the process, and proceed to start flushing out blood, replacing it with this plasmated slurry, as it were, of incorrect blood. But it does seem to be traveling into him at the moment as we speak. What would you like to do while the process is occurring?
I need someone to keep an eye on him. So I just grabbed the nearest crew member who isn't busy with something.
Currently, I think everybody's busy at the moment. Scarborough's downstairs cleaning guns.
Amos would probably check back in with her.
Okay, Amos, you step back in when Clarion is, well, she's in the middle of doing the transfusion. And what do you say to Amos?
Amos, I need to talk to the other crew members about anything that happened to the captain while we were absent. in case it affects his treatment.
So what you're saying is if formerly he gets back up and starts muttering in tongues, tentacles flailing everywhere like some sort of crazed maniac, put a hole in him?
Restrain him
Gently?
with as much force as is necessary, Amos.
But don't kill him, as I understand.
That would be an undesirable outcome.
They hold their mouth open for a moment, and then they nod softly.
The entire point of this treatment, Amos, is to attempt to save the captain. If we kill him in the process, that would be incredibly counterproductive.
They open their mouth as if they're about to say something, some word of insight. They just let out a ragged sigh. They nod.
Amos moves over to watch the captain. And what do you do as Amos is keeping an eye on him, Clarion?
I'm gonna go talk to Leife while he's at the helm.
All right, so Clarion starts to head out. Amos, give me an aware roll or a magical roll of your choice. All right, that's an 11. I will tell you what that means here in a moment. We move over. Clarion, you step out on the deck. You see Leife currently driving. Red Iron is standing nearby. Cullens is cleaning the deck now. There's a large trail of smeared blood going off the edge of the ship that he's just scrubbing away. So you head up and you see Leife standing, like I said, at the helm. So you're standing there at the moment too. What do you say to him?
Leife, the parasite within the captain was dormant when I scanned him just now. Did you have anything to do with this?
I believe I did, yeah.
Can you describe what treatment you enacted upon him?
My healed spirit.
Ah, I see. This is something that I cannot do.
That's all right.
But it seemed to be very effective.
It was. That's great to hear.
Well, just make sure that we do not get any closer to the source of the signal that induced the distress from the parasite.
He looks over the navigations. We might be. I don't know. We'd have to ask. We'd have to ask B. She's re-navigated us. I'm not entirely sure where we're headed, except for the direction, you know.
Understood. I need to get back to my patient, but I could call B up to the deck if you desire.
Oh, please do. She's supposed to be driving the ship right now.
Then Clarion will go back to the stairs and yell, Beatrix, Leife needs to talk to you.
Just a minute.
Please hurry. This involves the captain.
Okay.
All right,
And then she goes back into med bay.
So Clarion heads back into medbay. We move down to B, down below. You've rushed down very quickly, holding this little watch, and run into the engine room. What do you do as you see the container full of aetherite crystals?
She's gonna go straight for the container and find one that looks about the size of the watch, and see how she can get it in there.
So you grab, you put on the glove, you reach in, you grab another one of these things. You start kind of like binking against the side of it, and a small compartment opens up. But it needs an A stone that has been molded into a round crystal, almost like an ovoid shape.
Ooh.
It needs an A stone rather than an aetherite crystal. So that is a specifically designed aetherite crystal.
I wonder if we can put this in Carrot's mouth and it'll come out just like the ball bearings. What do you think, Sep?
Highly recommend against that. That's concentrated magic.
Oh. Okay.
Carrot off on the side goes, I'll do it, I'll be helpful.
I know you want to be helpful, Carrot. I appreciate that. Apparently, it won't work this time, though.
I was told I was lied to my whole life, B. People told me that things were like black and white sometimes, and they were 100%, and 100% isn't real. Clarion told me 100% isn't real.
Black and white is totally real. You know that I painted Barnabas's face with black and white?
Yeah, but what if
You've
it's
seen
not?
it.
What if it's not totally black? There are different shades, and if it never is full black, that means it's not 100%.
The paint I use says black, so it is black.
I'm not entirely convinced. Give me a charming roll real quick, B.
Okay.
Nice. 20.
I can convince Carrot anything.
You see him like lick a tear off of his own eye. Well, you always know the right thing to say, B. Salty. So will you you need me to help you then? I gotta polish another thing? I polished like 20 things. It took him a little while though, and I had to use a latrine, and that was not fun.
Oh, that would be rough, yeah. But I saw the bearings and they look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I had tried my best on them.
You are the best, Carrot. That's why you're my friend.
Oh, of
Zep,
course.
He's my friend too. You need to protect him.
Yeah, Zep. Who's Zep?
He's you can't. He's
I
right
don't see
there.
anything.
Zep, you want to say hi? He says hi.
No.
He says hi.
Okay. Hi, Zep, wherever you are. Am I in Zep now? This is awkward.
No, I think you're okay. Zep's over there.
Okay. So, what are we polishing?
I think Scarborough's polishing the guns. You want to go help him?
Scarborough told me to back off because I accidentally dropped the cannonball off the edge of the ship.
Oh, he's so mean.
Yeah, he is, and he yells and uses obscenities all the time.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's like
Nobody
he never had a
ever
mom.
listens.
I mean, it's that kind of individual. It's got sour talk. He sours milk just by staring at it.
It's true. We should go on deck, I think, Carrot. We'll find something for you to do.
All right. Deck time. Good. Let's just,
Come with me. And B will grab his hand and skip off.
The two of them go skipping up the stairs. Up behind, slaps a hand to his face. Why did I choose? She's fine. She's fine. They're fine. The crew, crazinesses. This is great. And you see him just like floating up the hall after him. We pop back up to the deck. Red Iron, you are there. Amos, you're standing on the deck at the moment. No, Amos, you're inside of the medical office staring at things. That's what we have to get back to. Sorry, Red Iron. I'm gonna have to make you wait a second. Amos, you're standing there staring at the captain, watching very closely. And you see him start to move a little bit. And you see a vein in his neck, like, pulse very quickly suddenly. And then he just kind of rolls his head back and rests a little bit. Then you see his eyes start to open. Hey, Mose. What am I doing here?
Details unclear. Situation unknown. Critical your care is. Do you feel okay?
Oh yeah, I feel great right now.
Can you tell me where we are?
Of course, we're inside of that beautiful little scone place I love on Saberhold, right?
Yeah. You got the chocolate, right?
I know the cinnamon. My mouth is really dry right now. Do you have a drink?
In a moment. Can you tell me your name, just in case? My memory's a little fuzzy.
My name? Nope.
That's okay, me neither. Let's get you that drink. And in the back of their mind, Clarion.
Yes.
Clarion.
I'll take a rum and some of that seltzery water and a lemon.
Clarion comes in and says, "You will have nothing of the sort. Please sit back and relax." And she prepares a cup of water.
Oil sport. And I, your boss.
Are you?
I don't know, please tell me, I can't remember.
You are my patient, and while you are in my med bay, you will be compliant.
All right, fine, I will be compliant. What do I need to do to be
Now,
compliant?
please, sit back and let me scan you again.
Good idea, because I think my organs are trying to crawl out of my throat. Leans back on the table.
That is concerning.
So you move over and
Yeah,
scan
yeah.
once more.
I mean, did he recently, just now, wake up, Amos? Okay.
Yep.
All right, give me another brains roll as you do another scan with your additional bonus. That gives you an 18. You go in and scan again. You start staring very deeply into his form as best you can. And you are noticing some of those parasitic objects detaching themselves from the linings of his brain and attach themselves to the blood cells you put into the body, causing them to grow and expand and start to replicate more of whatever those things are.
No, this is not good. Amos, please. Did we have 2 human cadavers?
You
Or
just
just
had
the one?
and you had the miner who's hiding in your hold right now.
Amos, please retrieve the miner.
And they leave.
Please retrieve the miner. All right, so Amos, you head down below, and you go to look for the miner. And as we see Amos's big grin on his face, stomping down the stairs, we move over to Red Iron at that point. So Red, you're above deck. This is right before B came back, and they just rushed off. Leifei had been standing there driving, and Clarion came out and talked. What were you wanting to do?
Red's gonna fix their arm.
Okay, so you're gonna head back to the engineering room.
No, Red got their Tinker's kit. Red is gonna head to the front of the ship to not go into engineering at all.
All right, so you head up towards the front of the ship where you've got those crates of things stacked up that are still being put away here and there. There is scrap in there to do the repairs to yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
So you're working on your arm with one arm. So give me a repair roll, but you're at -2 to the roll.
But with 2 arms because
Oh,
my third
you have
arm
third
is
arm.
helping.
That does assist, so you don't have to have a negative. So go ahead and roll, and we'll see how capable you are of repairing this while you're sitting there waiting. That is an 11. That is not high enough to repair that model arm, I believe, which would mean that you would lose your scrap. Your Redonus arm, I need to look it up real quick. Redonus arm. That has a repair RT of 12, so you need a 12 or higher. You actually got an 11. It's not that much of a difference. You have a +1?
Do I have a +1? I don't think I do have a +1. I mean, I picked up that free ace though. That's worth an ace to have a working arm. Let's
True.
throw that.
Go ahead and re-roll then with that ace. Oh, there's a +1 given you by Annika, so you
Oh,
don't
okay.
even have
Never
to do it.
mind.
There you go. You were 1 shy, and our audience saved the day. And now you sit there, and you're going to repair your arm over the course of 1 hour of repairs.
Yep.
But that will restore it to full health. So go ahead and
Great.
rebuild that arm for yourself.
Does my regen kick in?
Yes, when you're resting. So far, everybody's been doing a whole bunch of different tasks and moving about the ship.
Okay.
That doesn't count as resting until you actually take a break.
Gotcha. Well, I think we got to get that arm working again. That's important.
All right. So you have fixed it, though. So that's what you're doing while this whole captain thing is happening inside the medbay. Leifei's still flying the ship. And, we lost one.
I'm Jackal.
God.
You have become the jackal. Well, we're going to continue like this for the moment. At least I'm still in the same spot, so that's fine. So when it comes to what's occurring on the deck here, we have B come up top, and you see Red Iron standing up at the front, like working on himself with his other arm, just assisting and soldering and whatnot. You hear the sounds of whatever it is they're doing inside medical, and you see Lefe standing up above. He just called for you using Clarion's voice, of course. And Carrot standing beside you just kind of walks up. Hey, Cap, what's up?
What? Oh, right. B, you were supposed to be working on steering the ship.
Right. I can take that over again. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Do we have any A stones? That's what this watch thing needs.
I wouldn't know.
Oh. Do you know where to get them?
Robbing a ship.
Robbing his ship.
You know, there's the scientist ship. Do you think they might have some? We could. It would be really quick and easy, and I could hop on there and I could redirect us, and we could go get them, and then we'd have more loot, and that would make Captain happy when he gets better.
It would, but I want him to get better first. So, still, Saber holds.
Okay.
Yeah. It's and the whole scene. Oh, I still have them on. Lefe's like just not been listening to music at all. Just sort of paces off.
Without listening to music continuously, Lefe's feeling a little strange from the whole circumstance. He walks away and leaves you at the helm. He doesn't tell you to take it. He just walks away from it pretty much.
B will take over. She knows the drill.
Well, that's good, B, because as this hour passes, you find that you have to turn and head back into the asteroid field. So why don't you give me an agile roll to fly the ship successfully through all of these asteroids. And here we go. B gets a 14. Not bad. You scrape by, just kind of zipping between some of them and moving around. You have to take a couple of quick maneuvers that give you a little bit of an exhilarating thrill as a giant rocky stone just right above the ship and whatnot.
Whee!
And we move at this point back into where everybody's at inside the medical. Amos, you saw that with the captain. Clarion, you identified that there was potentially a problem with the blood. Amos heads down below. We're going to go to there, actually. So you head down into the hold, and you see sitting off on the far side of the hold, the miner, just kind of rocking back and forth and scratching his head. He looks up when he sees you, and you seem a little bit scared for a second. Hey there, big guy. Yeah, about that whole gun thing earlier. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what came over me. Please don't throw me off the ship.
Prior to this contact, Amos has been freaking out in the back of their mind. That wasn't a smile of malice. That was a smile of fear. That was a mask, if you will. The entire point leading up to this, they're like, oh God, how, what we avoid
I'm sure it's hard to tell the difference between a smile of malice and a smile of fear for a Lezerin, giant dragony maw.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll a d4 to figure out if Amos actually knows what's going on, because there was a brief moment there. They were there when all that happened. I'm not really sure.
Okay. That is the 2.
What do you mean?
Oh. Nothing.
Spit it out.
Oh, yeah, I happened to have found the captain's gun, and I went to return it to someone, and they thought I was trying to do something bad with it. That's all it was. Why don't you give me an aware roll to see if you can tell this individual's lying? That's funny. All right, so 2 options. Do you want to see flitting images on the surface of this being's mind and maybe have that happen again in the future, giving you an actual scene of the moment when he was trying to hold up Lefe and escape from the ship? Or would you like to have a +1 against all rolls to determine if someone's lying from here on out in the game?
+1 to see if someone's lying, or to see the entire scene play out.
But only on occasion, not an all the time thing.
I don't trust the dice.
All right.
I never trust the dice.
So
I'm
Amos,
going to, yeah.
Okay, so as you are communicating with this individual, Lesrin speak telepathically. They don't get images back usually or anything like that, but for some reason this time you do. And he plays through his mind that image of him holding the captain's. They're finding his captain's gun after rifling through supplies, causing a massive amount of debris to be scattered all around, grabbing a hold of it, going onto the deck, saying at gunpoint to Leife that he wants the ship to go to XYZ place, and of course trying to alert the outpost before you ever arrive there. And then, of course, Leife taking the flare, moving it aside, gun hitting the floor, and that's it.
They go from confused to concerned to angry to just cold logic. Amos draws their sidearm. Medical. Now. March.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you see Greg, Ned, Eddard go walking in front of you, kind of like looking over his shoulder a little bit. So medical, huh? What's this all about? Are you? I mean, you're not gonna turn me into food or something, right? Out here in the, I overheard something along those lines earlier, and I'm not tasty. I'm really stringy. You know, all that minor muscle. That's all I have, but it's not very much of it. You can look there. Just check it. Feel my arm.
I'm on a diet. It doesn't matter. Okay, man. You're scaring me here. And you see the Amos marches Ned up into the medical, and you see this white-faced, very scared-looking ex-miner at this point come up the stairs. All right. Oh, hi. Clarion, they called you, right? Yeah, we're friends here, right? Okay, I'm sitting down.
Yeah, so he sits down in my chair because that's probably the only one in there.
Yeah.
And Amos, please restrain him.
Restrain me? What are we doing?
And they restrain them.
Oh, come on! Yeah, take me hostage, brainwash me.
So,
I've got a family.
While Amos was gone, Clarion prepared another blood test to determine if his blood will help anything.
Okay.
And she also prepared a transfusion kit.
Okay. And you go to test him. Roll brains for me.
Okie dokie. Come on.
That is a 10. That's just adequate. You happen to have the knowledge and you have the equipment to do the test already set up. So I'm going to say that's successful. So you move over, you test, you wait for the change to occur to tell you a little strip you pull up and look at real carefully for a second. And it changes to a matching blood type.
Amos, I require your judgment as first officer, or as security officer. Is this miner contributing anything to the well-being of the ship, as he is?
We have reason to believe this individual has threatened the crew, threatened navigation, and stolen from the crew in the process.
Oh, come on. I was desperate for a moment, that was all.
Well, one way or another, you will be helpful. And Clarion begins the transfusion, determining to use as much blood as necessary.
Oh, God. Ugh. All right. You doing this on a loop, or are you just doing a drain and switch thing?
A drain and switch.
Okay.
He's not getting anything back. I don't want another person infected with parasites. That would be bad.
All right. This is going to be the last roll for this for now. This will be a brains roll one more time with Amos assisting. So Amos, go ahead and roll your brains as well as you work on making sure that the patient stays where they're supposed to as you potentially bleed them dry. 23, expertly able to replace the blood. Amos is able to hold the individual in place. It goes without a hitch necessarily, but it's going to be up to you on how far you choose to go with this. As you have gotten to a point where he begins to get weak, where Ned begins to get weak, you recognize that this does seem to be stripping out some of whatever this is in the blood and just draining it from the system, but it is by no means anywhere near clear. The further you go, the better chance you're going to give the captain of fighting this off for a while, maybe permanently. But it is working. Whatever this parasite is, it's attacking the blood cells that come in, the new ones, and as it kind of drains out and gets rid of all of that stuff that's in the veins now, it is starting to clear him a little. So your two choices are do it halfway and keep the captain just in a stable position. Obviously, with Lei Fei's assistance and with what you're doing, this will give him a new lease on life. Or go all the way and see what that does.
I think she's going to go all the way.
All right. You keep going and keep going and keep going.
The captain's life is more valuable than this captive's.
And you see Ned like starts shaking his head. You're killing me. You're killing me.
She applies sedation.
His head slumps down. And after a short period of time, he stops breathing. Give me a magical roll, Clarion. Okay. After the miner is no longer alive, laying there, after the last vestiges of blood have been stripped from this individual's body, providing a full body transfusion, you scan the captain once more. And there's maybe 5% left of whatever was in his system. Whatever else you're seeing in there doesn't seem like it's able to be removed in this way. It might require invasive surgery on the brain. If you wish to strip out that last 5%, you'll need a facility for that.
Exactly. I am not going to do that on this ship.
Brain surgery inside of a contaminated tiny room? Yeah, probably not a great idea.
That'll go great.
And as we see that happen, the captain is breathing steadily. There's another body on the ship. What happens in the room? Amos, you know that individual is dead.
Not without remorse, Amos is going to get the cleaner of the body bags, and they are going to cross the miner's arms across his chest. On the body bag, write his name down. Cover it with lard and save it for later.
All right.
They are going to give them a proper burial for their contribution at the very least.
So Amos takes the miner, takes F's in chat for Greg, Ned, Eddard, and drags the body down below inside of a body bag. And where do you put him to store him in the ship? You want to put him back in the hold, or you want to hold him somewhere else? You realize Greg, Ed, and Edward, he sure had a lot of blood.
Let's set him at the stern of the ship, top deck. We'll throw him overboard. Sorry, we'll set him overboard. Engines will light the lard. Give him a good funeral at least.
All right. So you do like a Viking burial style, launching him off into the void on fire. All right.
Does the fire go out as soon as he leaves the atmospheric generator?
Yeah. But that's
I
a
can
good.
make sure that some oxygen stays with him for a good long time.
You could. Do you want to do that, B? You
Oh,
wanna...
yeah.
All right. So B walks over, watching you carry like a bag out. Do you say anything about that? He's got the name Greg, Ed, and Edward, or Ned, Eddard on the bag.
He didn't have to try and kill Lei Fei. Was he a bad person, Amos?
I can't answer that one.
I think I'm sorry I tried to make him a pirate. He wasn't a very good pirate at all.
Do you have a lighter?
Of course.
Why do you have a lighter, young woman?
Because fire's pretty.
You and I are going to have a talk about fire safety. Hand me the lighter.
Here you go.
Takes it. Here's to you for your contribution. We are sorry it had to end this way, and we accept full judgment on those who chasten your name. Lights it, pushes the body bag overboard, watches it burns up in the engine.
All right, and B, give me a magical roll to assist any remaining fragments as they go out into the void.
Clarion comes out, wiping down herself, and watches.
And yeah, Amos launches it towards the engine, the flames emitting from the back, pouring over this thing, the aether light hitting it. Amos, for shits and giggles, give me 12d6 damage that you cause to this corpse. We'll just see how badly it would incinerate it before it heads off into the void. $43. That's 12d6. Yeah, it is ashed before it ever even makes it out. A couple little fragments of bag just kind of burning, twist in the space behind the engines, and then float off into the void. The little bubble of air that B created, causing that little flickering light to kind of dance off into the distance behind you. And as you all say your farewells and salute this blood bag that was living aboard your ship this whole time, we will now head to break. Thank you all for watching Sparrows. This was an interesting and confusing episode so far. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves, and we of course will be back in just a few minutes with more kitty bombs, with more events, and with an outpost that has just arrived in the distance. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you soon.